So when you log in, you will still go ahead and go to mypcbbank.com and you will click on the cash management link and it will take you to this page here. Now, there's a few things that's changed, especially with the company ID. Prior, you were using your business name or company name, but now you'll be given a separate 7-digit number. So let me go ahead and log in here. Now, the user ID, you will still use their same user ID. And we will go ahead and provide you with the login details. Now, there is one step that we did skip because this is still in the test environment. As soon as you put your company ID number and your user ID, you'll be prompted to get a one-time code. And in that screen, you'll see your phone number and the method to receive that code. So you could choose a phone call or a text message to receive that code. And once you enter that code in, you'll be taken to the password section. And once you enter a temporary password, you'll be required to change your password. And you will see the password requirements here. Okay. Now, once you log in, it will look different. As you can see, we do have a dashboard page. It just gives you quick information about your accounts. Now, this page, the front page here, you can customize the widgets. You can add and remove widgets. For certain individuals, some of these widgets will be very helpful, especially the transfers and payments approval or the important account balance. Now, if you want to go ahead and make any changes, you can click on the display option and you can move the widgets around to what you're most comfortable with. And if you want to remove any widgets, you can click on this trash can and you can save. Now, in the future, if you removed or add any widgets, you can always come back and make changes again by clicking on this plus sign if you want to add it. And these are some of the widgets that it's not added yet. So these are the widgets that's available. So if you want certain widgets like next schedule request, we'll go ahead and save it. And we'll go ahead and see the updated widgets here. Now, the top menu, these are the links for you to view certain reports. You have money movement, where anything that has to do with transferring funds to ACH to wires, it'll be made available here. And the account services, it'll give you different services such as stop payment or positive pay if you have those services enabled. And the administration section, this is where you can go ahead and check your incoming messages through the online banking or even send us a message and the manage other users or update email address and such. We will go through all that individually. So first, I would like to go over the reports. So you have various reports here. So the deposit report, it will take you to the account page where you can view your transaction. So you do have the option if you have multiple accounts, you can choose all accounts and you can choose a specific date range, or if you're looking for a specific date, you can go ahead and choose that as well. So, and you'll be able to go ahead and choose a date and go ahead and click on search. For right now, for test purposes, we don't have any recent transactions to show you, but it'll give you a quick snapshot of what your available balance is. And if there are any transactions, you'll be able to see your debits and credits here for each account. Now, you can also choose an individual account if you like. Now, the downloaded reports, these are for our ACH clients. This report will show you if there are any ACH returns or any ACH notification of changes. So if you see any of those items here, if you do receive a notification of change, you can go ahead and make the changes to your recipient, whether it's a routing number or account number or account type. And we also have an incoming wire report as well. So if you are expecting any incoming wires, if it is coming today, you'll be able to see the details of the amount and the originator. And the e-statement, this is where you can view your past statements. So it is available. Now, one thing I want to go back on the welcome page is if you wanted to look at your account transactions without having to click on reports and deposit reports, you can add accounts here and you'll be able to choose the account. And once you save it, once the accounts are available, you can click on the account directly and it will take you to the deposit report page for that specific account. Now, the money movement, we'll go ahead and start off with the wire. Now, we have two users for our test environment. We have a user, which I'm logged into right now, that's able to submit wires. And I'll be able to show you the approval section as well. So we'll go ahead and create a template, and we'll go ahead and submit it. And at the top of the wire, you have different options here. So wire money, you can go ahead and do a one-time wire if you like without having to save the template information. So that information would not be saved. And wire via template, if you already have the template created, you'll be able to go ahead and just choose the specific template that you created, and you can send it. And wire via template, multiple templates. This option, if you have all your recipients created, you can go ahead and choose the different recipients and send the wire submitted at once. And the manage templates, you can go ahead and add templates or make changes to the existing templates. And the history will show you the completed wires for a specific account, or you can choose all accounts, and you can choose a date range of what you're searching for. So for the wire money, we'll go ahead and start off by creating a template. Now, if you don't want to create a template, you don't have to enter a template name, and that would just be one time, and the information will not be saved. So we'll go ahead and do a domestic wire. So we'll go ahead and put a template name, something that we can recognize that this template will be sent to a certain company. And we'll go ahead and choose the account. Now, the wire cutoff time is still the same, which is 2 p.m. Pacific time. So as long as you do it, submit the wire before 2 p.m., you will be able to choose today's date. Now, if it is after the cutoff time, you will not be able to go ahead and submit. And we'll go ahead and put the amount. And we'll go ahead and click on continue. Now, the next page, you do have an overview of the debit information just to make sure that you've chosen the correct account, the amount, and also it'll give you the available balance just to make sure you do have the available balance. Now, the recipient information here, you can go ahead and enter the routing number. Or if you just want to make sure, we can go ahead and click on the bank ID search, and we can go ahead and type in the bank's name. And it should populate here. And once you select the bank, it will pre-fill the information such as the bank name and the bank address. Now, you will be required to enter the address on for address line 1 and 2, but address line 3, it is optional. And then we'll go ahead and enter the account number. And we'll go and enter the recipient's name. Now, just like before on the previous, the current system, if the business name is too long, you can always put the remaining name on recipient address line 1. And as for the actual recipient's address, you can go ahead and complete it on address line 2 and 3. And if you do have any additional information that you would like to put for the wire, you can go ahead and put a specific invoice number here. Now, one good feature about the new system is we do have an add intermediary link here. So if previously you would have had to go through the branch to submit wires if your receiver requested to have a certain intermediate bank information. So now you can just go and click on yes, and whichever routing number they provided you for the intermediate bank, you can go ahead and enter that here and submit it. So we will go ahead and submit that. Now, one thing I would like to mention, the wire initiator information. Um, right now, we won't be able to grade this out, so you as users will be able to make changes, but I would advise not making any changes to the initiator information to prevent any issues with the wires by not being processed or just being rejected. So please leave this information below as is. And once we created the wire, we'll go ahead and click on continue. And the next page, you will see the overview. Just make sure that all the information is correct. And then we'll go and click on submit for approval. Okay, so we went ahead and did a wire. Now for wire via template, if you do have a template created already, it'll be made available here, and you can just go ahead and choose a template and enter the amount and the date. If it's today only, then you could go and choose today. And you can also future date it as well. So if it's one time, if you want to send it on a different date, you can. And then we'll go ahead and click on continue and submit it for approval. Now, for those that do a lot of wires in a single day, this option will be very helpful for you guys. Especially, you can go ahead and as long as the templates are created, you can go ahead and choose each template, enter the amount, and if the send on date is today, you could just leave it as is. And then we'll go ahead and click on submit. And you'll be able to see all the wires here. Just verify the information, and we'll click on submit for approval. Okay, and we also do have the managed template. So if your recipient, if they change banks, and if you need to update their routing number and account number, we can click on a specific template and click on edit, and we can go ahead and enter the new information here. And then we'll click on save changes, and the changes will be made effective immediately. And as for any wire history, if you're looking for a specific wire, you can always click on history, choose all the accounts and the specific date. If you're only looking for a domestic wire, you can, or if it's international or just all, and we'll click on search. Okay, so this login, like I said, it is for submitting wires. Now I will go ahead and log in as an approver to show you how the approver will approve the wires. Now, one thing I would like to mention as well for the company ID number, all users in that specific company will share the same company ID number. Okay, so I'm logged in as an approver now. Now, the widget, it is helpful for me as an approver because right when I log in, I'll be able to see the different transactions that needs approving. There are several ways to get to the approval section. You can just click on the individual transaction and it'll take you to the approval page. Make sure that the wire information is correct. And then you can go ahead and click on transmit, get the one-time code, and submit the wire. If not, you can always click on the approval section on the top right, and then click on transactions, and it will show here. Now, the good thing about this is if you do have multiple transactions to approve within the same transaction type, such as wires, you can go ahead and just click on this box. It will check all the boxes, or you can just check on the boxes that you like to approve and click on approve selected. And you can approve multiple wires with one code, and we will go and process the wire. So the next step, we'll go through the ACH. So as of now, for the new system, we do have credits and debits separated. So if you have both, you'll see make a payment and collect money. If you only have ACH credit, you'll only see make a payment option. And now when we create a template, the template will only be created for the specific if it's a credit, then it'll only be made available on the credit side. So you won't be able to choose it on the if you click on collect money, you won't be able to choose that specific template. So it will be separated. So we'll go ahead and just like the wires, you can go ahead and send one-time ACH if you like without saving the information. And if you want to create a template, we can go ahead and create a template. Now, template name, we'll go ahead and put it. And here's a request type. Same as before, if it's CCD, it's for corporate. If it's PPD, we'll do personal. We'll go ahead and choose the correct account type, and we'll go ahead and choose the account. And you can put a specific description to make sure that you're choosing the correct template. And then we'll choose the account where the funds are being debited from. Now, the maximum transfer amount, this is useful if a specific transaction, if it's not going to go over a certain amount, so it prevents you from making a typo. So for payroll purposes, we'll go and make sure that the amount will not go over $10. So we'll go and enter that in. And then from here, we can add as many recipients as we like. So we'll just go ahead and enter the routing number, the account number, and the account type. And since this is a PPD, we'll go ahead and put individual name. And the detail ID, we can go ahead and leave it blank. And as for the amount, initially, we can just go ahead and leave it at 0, especially if it's always changing. Now, if it's not changing, we can just go ahead and enter that specific amount. And okay. And if you want to put additional information here, you can do so here. Now, if you want to add an additional recipient, we can click on this plus sign here, and it'll come up with another row. So we'll go ahead. And we can go ahead and save the template here. Now, once you create the template, you can just use the template right away by clicking on send money using this template. The effective date will be the same. The new cutoff time will actually be 5 p.m. Pacific time instead of 4 p.m. So you will have an extra hour once the conversion takes place on April 15th. And as long as you do it before the new cutoff time, you can go ahead and choose the next available day for them to receive the funds. And you also have this control amount. Now, this control amount, it's if you add up all the recipients' amounts, it will tell you if we made a mistake or not. So let's say if we add up all the amounts, it should be $2. But let's say it will check to make sure that there is no variance. If, for example, if I put 98 cents here and if the payroll should be $2, then it will tell you that somewhere one of the recipients I put a wrong amount. So it's kind of like another double check for you to make sure that we enter the correct amount for each recipient. And if you want to hold a specific recipient, if in case if they're sick and they're not going to be paid for that specific pay period, you can hold it and it will just only process one or the remaining recipients. And then we'll go ahead and click on continue, just like wires. And you can go ahead and verify the information, make sure that it's coming from the correct account, the funds are available, and you can also check the details of the recipients receiving the funds. And then we can go ahead and click on submit for approval. So there's one thing I didn't go through on the approval section. Give me one moment. Let me just go ahead and go back so I can show you all. So for the ACH, we can just go ahead and click on this and we'll go ahead and click on transmit. And you will receive a one-time code. You will get the option, choose your phone number, either a phone call or a text. And once you enter that code in, you'll be able to transmit it. Now, the one thing I did forget to mention is if, for example, let's say either for ACH or wires, because of the cutoff time, and if you weren't able to approve the transaction in time, for example, such as this template, the wire that we submitted, um, it was shown in red because it's past the cutoff time. We should have approved this yesterday. But instead of having the submitter recreate the transaction, if everything is correct here, if the information is correct, or only the date was incorrect, then what we can go ahead and do is we can just click on we can click on that specific transaction, and then we can click on edit. And then we can go ahead and just change the date to today or tomorrow. So if it's today only, so we can still submit it. Now, if you have to change, if you have to return the wire back or an ACH transaction because the routing number was different or the amounts or the transaction day or the name of the account, we can for that we will have to submit it, return it back because as an approver, you won't be able to go ahead and make those type of changes. So you will have that option to return the wire for edit. And we can go ahead and input the wrong information, let them know wrong account number, and we'll go ahead and return it back to the submitter for correction. Now, we also have the option of importing templates from a CSV file. Right now, we're still working on it, making sure everything's linked up just fine. But you will have that option. So if you have a lot of templates that you need to create, instead of creating a one by one like we just did now, you could put into a specific CSV file and import it. Right now, I won't be able to show you that portion just yet. Like I said, we're still working on it, but it will be made available to you all. And for the ACH history, you can go ahead and click on ACH history and look for a specific transaction for a specific date. Now, the transmit date and the effective date, there's two types that you can look for. The transmit date will be the date that you submitted a transaction, and the effective date will be the date where the recipient will receive the amount. So you have those two options, and then you can go ahead and choose a date range, and it'll populate any transactions for those dates. For those of you that have bill pay, uh, bill pay will be made available. And if you click on the bill pay option, it'll take you to the bill pay page. Now, if you have multiple accounts with different business name for bill pay, you'll be able to go ahead and choose which account you want to make payments from, so that if a check is sent out, then it will list the account that you chose, and that's made available to you. And once you're here, it shouldn't be too much different compared to the old system. You'll enter a name, and if our bill pay has a relationship with those recipients, uh, it will automatically populate. If not, you can go ahead and manually enter like the account number, their name, and their address, and the date, and to choose the date of when you want them to receive the payment by. Now, for transfer money, the transfer money is only for internal transfers. Um, for right now, for test purposes, we're still making changes. You shouldn't see the external portion here. Will just always be internal. And for the accounts, you'll be able to go ahead and choose from account to account and the amount. You can choose today or future data transactions, and we'll go ahead and click on continue. Now, you also have the option of doing multiple account transfers. Now, you will have to create a template first. Now, what multiple account transfers would do is once you create the template, you can choose the action if you're collecting money or if you're sending money. So we'll just go ahead and choose send. So the main account will be the account either receiving the money or the account that's being debited, depending on what you choose. So we'll go ahead and make sure this is the main account where the funds are coming out from. And just like the ACH, you could put a maximum transfer amount where it shouldn't go over a certain amount. And then from here, you can add all your other accounts. So if you want to fund all three accounts from one main account, you can go ahead and choose the various accounts here and choose the amount. And once this template is created, in the future, if you do like to just transfer money to multiple accounts, you can just go ahead and choose this, the template name, and everything will already be saved. If you need to change the amount, you can go and do so. And then you just click on continue, and it will fund these three accounts here. And you can add templates. You can create additional templates if you like. You can make changes to the templates. And we do have the history option where you can see any previous transfers made. And the last step in the money movement is the schedule request. Now, any transactions that's future dated, it will show under schedule request. So right now we don't have any, but if there were, you'll be able to see the type, if it's a wire, if it's a domestic wire or international wire, if it's an ACH credit or ACH collection, and you'll be able to see the name, the amount, and also if it's approved or not. From here, the transaction page, these will show all the internal transactions. Oh, I'm sorry. The transaction will show the transaction for wires, if you have any wires or any ACHs. And you can also look at the approval status here. Templates, you can go ahead and this will show if any templates needs approval. Schedule request and uh, files for positive pay. And we have different user approvals. So under account services, you do have a stop payment option. So you can go ahead and choose the account for the stop payment. You can put in a reason, which is optional. And if it's a single check, you can go ahead and enter the check information. the date on the check. The pay's name is optional, but we could put and the amount. Now, if you lost your checkbook, you can also go ahead and place a range of check stop payment by entering the from starting check number and ending check number. And you can verify the information, make sure it's correct, and we'll go ahead and submit it for approval. Now, once it gets approved, you can also go ahead and click on existing stops. So if you're looking for any previous stop payments that you've made in the last month, you can choose the account and we can generate the report. So we also do have the option of how you want to receive the information. So if you want to see it on the screen, you can choose a screen. If you want to view it in a CSV format, you can do so, or in PDF format. So you do have that option here. We'll go into the administration. Administration, you'll see various options here, like communications. If we have sent any previous communications through online banking, you'll be able to see here. Now, anytime you do reset your password, it will be automatically generated here. And if you sent us any online messages, you can also view those messages here. And if there are any forms and documents available, it'll be made available to you here. For manage alerts, you can set various alerts so we can send you an email. So these are the available alerts that we have. So if you want to receive an alert if a status changed, so for those that do a lot of wires, this will be a good alert to enable. All you have to do is click on the plus sign, make sure that the email address is correct. We'll click on add the alert. So we do have various alerts available. And we also have a contact us button. So if you ever need to send us a message, you can always send us a message through the online banking. But if it's something that requires our immediate attention, it will be great if you can give us a call. Our phone number hasn't changed, and I'll go ahead and input our phone number into the chat so it's made available for you. Okay. And the next step is the company administration. Now, not all users will have this function. This function will be made available primarily to the main admin first. Now, as a main admin user, you can go ahead and make changes. You can create users. You can make changes to the existing users. And so, for example, let's say we want to make changes. So you can change their email address if you like, and you can also change their roles. So this ID here, the test EK1, this is the approver login. So let's say in the future, you want this user to be a submitter and not an approver. You can just go on the roles, click on this edit button, and just click on the checkbox to allow templates, and you can uncheck the approve button. Or if you want them to be able to submit and approve, you can go ahead and leave that option that is. Now, for those users for dual approval, you will not be able to make changes to that. For dual approval, one user will have to submit and another user will have to approve. And you can also select the different types of services for what you currently have. So if you want them to access all the account services made available to you, you can do so. If not, you can make changes by either clicking on the X. If you don't want this user to be able to do CCD collection, you can go ahead and do that. So right now we will not save. Okay, and the next is the account information. If you ever want to change the description of how your account description is shown, you can go into the account information and choose a specific account. Let's say I want to change this name to show as account test. And we can go ahead and save the changes. And this is how it will be displayed on online banking. Now, the Express account management, this is one of the other ways to entitle the various users um, quicker. Instead of going through the whole process under manage users and clicking on the edit, if you want to give a specific user a specific function for a specific account, you can go ahead and choose the account. We'll click on go, and we'll just go and check internal transfers, and we'll just go ahead and save, and it will be made available to that user. So this is a quicker way to make changes to a user. And we also do have the approval settings. So you can go ahead and choose to be more cautious by putting in the number of approvals required if you like. So if you guys do a lot of wires or ACHs, and if there's a certain threshold amount that you would like to put a restriction on, so we can go ahead and do that here. So I will put $1,000, and if anything above $1,000 requires two approval, then two different users will need to approve this transaction in order to be processed. And we can do the same thing for CCD collection payments if it's available to you. And you can also do the number of approvals required to create an administration role or create a template and such. Same thing for positive pay maintenance. And if you currently have a dual control waiver, meaning the same person can create the transaction and same person can approve the transaction. But if you decide at a later time, there's a second user available. And if you want to go ahead and put a dual control on your own, you can go ahead and click on this box for the specific transaction type. And this will prevent the same user from approving the transaction. And the next step will be a user setup report. This will list any changes to a specific user or all users, and you can get a report of that. And if you want to get a report or of invalid login, you can do that. You can do that and choose a different the file method to receive those reports. Now, there's one thing we didn't go over so far. Oh, I'm sorry. So we also have self-administration. If you ever need to update your password for whatever reason, you can go ahead and do so here. Personal preferences, this will be if you want to just confirm your phone number, if everything looks correct. Now, for the email address, if you want to add or change a phone number, I'm sorry, change an email address, you can go ahead and do so here. So you can add a secondary email if you like. And we also have a user activity report. So if you want to see what a specific user did or what they created, what they changed, you can go ahead and do so here. So if you want to see what they set up, what kind of a collection they approved or created, you can go ahead and select each account type or the description type, or you can just do select all, and it will give you a breakdown of what they did for that specific day or within those date range. Now, the last thing I want to go over is the remote deposit. Now, right now we're still working on the making sure that the test the links are great. So I won't be able to go ahead and show you from the actual web page. I'll be able to go ahead and show you through screenshot. But by April 15th, we will update the remote deposit link. So once you click on that link from the My PCB Bank, it'll take you to the new login page. And the new login page will look something very similar. It will look exactly like this. Now, it will work the same way as before. If you have multiple accounts, you'll be able to choose the multiple accounts. And then on the amount section, you'll just put the total amount of the deposit for that session. And then we'll click on create deposit. Now, once you get to that portion, you can click on capture and it'll take you to the scan page. Go ahead and feed the checks into your scanner. And once it accepts a check, you'll see like the capture item. And it will automatically create a deposit ticket for you with the amount. And you'll go ahead and click on submit. And if you want to pull up a report for that specific deposit, you'll be able to go ahead and choose the receipt button. And you can choose a different type of report. So if you're looking for a front and back copy of the check, you can go ahead and choose that option, or front only, then you can go ahead and do so. And it'll give you a breakdown of your deposits here. Now, if there's any issues with a scanner reading the routing number, account number, or the amount, it'll give you an error here to correct the items. So you can just go ahead and manually enter the information and click on accept. We will conclude this meeting. I thank everyone's time, and I hope you have a great day.